Coming to you live from the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California, and all across the world, psychic, medium, and energetic healer Sheena Metal brings you Messages from Spirit.
Hi, and welcome to Messages from Spirit, only on PARAPOD TV. I'm your host. I'm Sheena Metal. I'm a psychic medium and an energetic healer. And here's what happens every week on the show. You can find me at sheenametalspiritual.com and learn more about me. And you can always send me a text message if you'd like to be on the show or just stay in touch. 818-437-0886. And on social media, I'm everywhere at Sheena Metal. Please come and find me. Every week on the show, I'm a real psychic medium. I talk to real people, just like you and me. And they ask me real questions. I work to get real messages from Spirit. And we have some real conversations and hopefully get them the real help and healing and answers that they have been seeking. It's a really fun show, and I find it very uplifting to see people get helping and healing every week, get answers to their burning psychic questions. And I'm honored to be here and be part of the PARAPOD family. Thank you to PARAPOD's owner and operator, Tony Sweet, for allowing us to be part of your spiritual home. And thank you always to my wonderful engineer and producer, Emery. The show would not happen without him. He's the glue that holds everything together. I just show up and blah, blah, blah for an hour a week. Every Wednesday at 2:00 Pacific time, we are live on PARAPOD TV, and then the show archives, and you can watch it anywhere. And of course, you can find PARAPOD TV many places, including on the Roku app, which is very exciting. So enjoy that. It's kind of cool to go to Roku and download the PARAPOD app, and there's your show. It's fascinating. It's been a new experience for me this year, and I'm really loving it. Here's what we're talking about. It seems like with clients in my spiritual practice, and it seems like many times either on this show or my weekly talk show, The Sheena Metal Experience, also on PARAPOD TV, or the social media broadcasts I do a few times a week, the N word keeps coming up over and over again, right? Narcissist. And so many things are chalked up to narcissists. And then there are the people that say, well, not everyone you think is a narcissist is a narcissist. Don't label people unless you know. There's a difference in having narcissistic tendencies and being a narcissist. And all those things are true. Somebody who posts, a different profile picture of themselves every day, desperately seeking likes, may have narcissistic tendencies, but is not necessarily a narcissist. A narcissist is a form of spiritual cancer that destroys everything around it, and oftentimes seems to take a lot of pleasure in that, although they will swing on their cross and tell you how miserable they are all the time. I don't believe that we're chalking everything up to narcissists. I think there are a lot more narcissists than we've ever known about, and we're encountering more every day. And those of us who are empaths, those of us who let the light shine within us through our soul and out, they are so attracted to us, and they want to find us, charm us, capture us, keep us in a jar the way, kids kept fireflies when I was a kid, and then suck everything that's good out of us because they don't make their own light. So they're looking for ours. And I say that not to scare you or to make you feel weird or to make you feel put off or to make you feel like they're all coming to get you. It's not like that. But you cannot pretend they are not there. And I say this when I teach workshops all the time. I grew up in Huntington Beach, California, Surf City, USA, where I now live again. You do not take your surfboard into the water and expect that you will never see a shark. And you do not live amongst your fellow human beings and expect that there are not narcissists. And there are things you can do to protect yourself from them. And there are ways that you can work to stay away from them. But like the sharks in the water, it doesn't always work. Yes, when you're a surfer, don't go in the water if you're bleeding. Don't go in the water if, don't wear a wetsuit that looks like a chubby seal pup. I mean, they're all the things not to do. Don't go in there with a hamburger and eat it while you sit on your board. Yet you can do none of those things and the shark still comes. And you can do everything that every handbook or anti-narcissist workshop tells you to do, everybody you watch on TikTok, and still they come for you. And sometimes they come for you because you burn the brightest. And the ones that make you feel terrible are horrible. But the most dangerous ones are the ones that make you feel terrible about yourself. And that's what they want. They want to break you down and turn you into what they want you to be so they can have complete control of you. Have you ever seen a documentary on flies? So flies, right? Flies, they find their prey, and then they vomit acidity onto their prey to melt it into something that they can eat. And then they digest their prey. And it's kind of what narcissists do on a spiritual level to folks. Now, like I said, I don't want anybody to live in fear, like, oh God, they're coming to get us. The narcissists are everywhere. But you have to be aware of what they are and protect yourself so that your life is not destroyed every time they pull a string. And, we have these things in our solar plexus chakra called soul ties. And when I go into somebody's solar plexus chakra to do a cleanse or a clearing or a chakra balancing, to me, they look like strings coming out of your solar plexus chakra. And everyone you have a soul tie to, your string is attached to their string and their solar plexus chakra, much like we were kids and you'd make the walkie-talkies out of the 2 Dixie cups and a string. They can pull those strings and make you feel any way they want you to feel. And I see it so much. I deal with it so much. I've done so many topics about it on various shows. And I just want you all to protect yourselves and know that you are the light and you are the beauty. And everything is so going to be okay. And you got this. And no negative person can take away the thing that is beautiful in you. Does that make sense? Nobody can take that from you. And you need to know that. All right. And that is my advice for you everywhere. For those of you that are watching, stay beautiful. Stay engaged, stay connected to spirit, stay in the light, and don't let those who harbor negativity within you make you feel like you're not enough. Does that make sense? All right. And with that, let's do a message from spirit.
Hi, Sheena. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
That's great. Who are you? Where are you calling from? And how may I help?
Yes, my name's Chris. I'm calling outside of Boston, Massachusetts.
Beautiful.
And the message that I'm requesting from Spirit today is on behalf of my mom. Her father passed away 34 years ago, my grandfather. And she's wanting to know if he was able to reunite with any family after he passed, as well as if he had any messages to convey or how he might make his presence known after passing.
He's talking a lot about being with his own mother. Does that make sense to her?
I'm not sure. I'll send this to her afterwards.
Okay. But he's talking about being with his own mother and that there was something in his life, something separated him from his mother. And he's not conveying whether that's a physical separation or an emotional separation. Something separated him from his mother, he's saying. And he didn't really even realize how much he needed to be reunited with her until he was with her again at home. So that's the biggest family tie that he has at home, is with his mother. He doesn't, he worries that your mother doesn't know how much he loved her, that he didn't convey it enough or convey it in the right way. Does that make any sense to you, Chris?
I think so. Yes.
And he just wants her to know that where he is now, he's different. And he has become the embodiment of love. And he doesn't want her to doubt how much he loves her. And he's talking about light flickers. Does your mom have the lights flicker in her house?
I would say sometimes, yes.
That's him.
Okay.
He just wants her to know that he's there. And he wants her to know that he's there and that he is comforting her and that he believes in her and that everything is good.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate that, Sheena.
My pleasure, sweetheart. You take care of you, okay? Thank you for the wonderful question.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's so hard as a human to convey love, to maintain your emotional balance to the place where you can consistently show love to people and participate in loving relationships with people. I think that's so difficult. And so one of the things that our loved ones talk about a lot when they're on the other side is literally just that. Worried that you didn't know how much they loved you, worried that they didn't convey their love in the right way. So many different things, this is something that happens all the time. And I'm back. Well, that never happened before. Well, a little bit, but I think that's the worst it's ever happened. I just lost power. I was talking to Chris about lights flickering from his grandfather, and then my lights started flickering, and I could feel myself start to sort of freeze. And I was like, what's that? And then boom, the lights went down, went back up, but it took a minute for the Wi-Fi to come back. So anyway, what I was saying was sometimes people don't even realize when they're alive how much they're not telling their loved ones how much they love them, or how much they're not emotionally participating until they pass. And when they pass and they have that sort of 360 awakening for everything that's going on in their has gone on in their earth life, they really realize how much they had to give that they maybe didn't give, and how important it is to give. So I think that's definitely what happened, Chris, with your grandfather. And so now he flickers the lights, and apparently flickers mine, thanks Chris's grandfather, to help to show you that he's here and he loves you and he's participating in your life, in your mom's life, and in yours too, but especially in your mom's, because that loss of him, and not just the loss from his death, Chris, but also the loss of love when he was alive, is something that's been very difficult for her in her life. And he wants her to know he loves her and it's going to be okay. All right? Okay. Okay. Well, that's how you know it's live, right? When something like that happens. that's how you know it's live, because you can't make that up. All right. So let's do another message from Spirit. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Who are you? Where are you coming from?
Hi, I'm Tanya from Harts, West Virginia.
Beautiful, Tanya. What's your question for me, sweetheart?
Well, I haven't gotten any messages in a while from either Jeff or my son, and I'm wondering if it's because I'm working on my abilities and I'm doing cartomancy and things like that, and I'm wondering if I managed to close any communication off with them whatsoever. I'm not seeing signs. I don't know anymore. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in this funk with everything that I'm not picking up anything.
I do think that the funk has something to do with it, sweetie. The funk is definitely part of it. Also, with your husband, he's tried to really sort of back away because he felt almost like you weren't moving on with your life because he was so present with you. He was worried that you were going to spend the rest of your life just talking to him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not make human friends or do things in the human world and participate in the human world.
Yeah, well, I have tried to participate in the human world, and it's not it's not turned out really good. You're talking about narcissists, and that's what took me out of clogging was one person. Is the only way I could get away from her energy was to get away from her.
Yeah. Isn't that a shame when narcissists ruin it for everyone?
Yeah. So, yeah.
My mom was an embroiderer, and for maybe 20, 25 years, she was part of the embroidery guild here in the county that I grew up in. And she was on the board. She was the president for many years, and she loved it. She even thought about opening her own thread and bead shop. And then all of a sudden, these two ladies transferred from another county into her meetings, and one of them decided that they were going to target my mother's light, and they were so horrible that she wound up just walking away and leaving the guild altogether and leaving friends, and because it just wasn't worth the horrible. And that is the thing that is so hard, because with narcissists, we want to just walk away, right? And but if we walk away, then they just win, and all the good people are hiding somewhere in a cabin by themselves, and they're running everything and having everything, and it's not right.
Right.
So I think that what your husband really wants you to know is he doesn't want you to give up on the idea of new energy in your life just because of some bad experiences, because obviously those people are out there, and I use people with finger quotes. Those people are out there, and there's nothing we can do about it, but he really wants to make sure that you're having human contact, you know?
Yeah. Well, I did try going out on a couple of dates, and it just didn't. It because it's like I said, I realized, I might be going out on a couple dates. I realized I'm looking for him. I'm looking for him in these people. I'm not going to find him. He is him. They are not him. And so I don't. I'm like, I'm giving up on the dating thing too. So.
Just give it some time, but don't give up, okay? All right. I'm sending you so much love, sweetheart.
All right. Thank you.
You bet. Everybody hang tight. I'm going to go out and come back in because I heard my microphone is bad. And sometimes when that happens, leaving the studio and coming back in will fix it. So I'll be back in 1 second, okay? Here I go. I'm back. Oh my goodness, you guys, what was that about? Hang on, I'm trying to go the right way. That was okay. So then I went out because my mic didn't sound good. I thought I would come right back in. Then I had to restart my camera. Then I went to Google to get back into our software program. Google froze, wouldn't let me back in. I had to restart again. And then it said my camera and mic were blocked and it wouldn't let me. You guys, it's crazy. There's some kind of some energetic shift going on right now. But I appreciate you being here and bearing with the technical problems. We almost never have technical problems. Somebody let me know my mic is better. And thank you to all of you that were texting me that I didn't sound great. I hope I sound good now. Okay, so what I was saying to Tanya, and I really appreciate you all bearing with us through this. A couple of things. Sometimes when our loved ones see that we're too attached to them after they've passed and we're not having enough of a life with humans. Humans can't live with them, can't live without them, but we're supposed to be living with them. They will back off and become not so present because they need for us to find our own lives here. And that's definitely, Tanya, what's going on with your guy. And your son, I think is going through the process to begin to start the reincarnation process at some point. So he's busy with that. It's like astronaut training, I think, to come back here. You have to get prepared to come back and deal with the visceral nature of Earth. So that may be why he has been not as available as he was before. All right. Thank you all. I'm so sorry about the technical problems. Thank you for bearing with me. Again, that's how we know it's live, right? Let's do another message from Spirit. I would love that.
Hey,
Hi.
Sheena.
How
Hi.
are you?
I'm great.
Beautiful. Who are you and where are you coming in from?
I'm Eileen, and I'm in Tempe, Arizona right now,
Beautiful.
right outside my work.
Beautiful. And what in everybody's mobile studio, the car.
Right.
It's mine as well.
Last week I noticed you mentioned you talk to your mom in the car all the time.
I do.
And I definitely do. Or at home. Anytime I'm like alone, I'm like talking to, whoever. But my question,
a lot of my alone times, that's when I do a lot of
Yep.
connection, soul connection with the living and the dead is when I'm in my car.
Yep. My question today for you is, we had to put down our dog, Prince, a month ago. And I'm good because I know so much of what now, I wasn't as sure you're heartbroken, but I just want to know how he's doing on the other side and if he's still with us, because my cat is meowing as loud as can be around the corners, down hallways, and I think she's looking for him, but she senses them. Am I correct?
I think she's looking for him, but I also think she sees him a lot.
Oh, maybe she is seeing him.
And so she thinks she's playing with him.
Well,
so I think when she's looking for him, it's because he's come to play with her. And so she's looking for him to come out of wherever he comes out from to play with her. Like, she understands he's no longer alive. She understands seeing him in a different plane of existence. But she also knows that there's a place where he comes out of that plane to come be with her. And it's in a hallway. It's like at the end of a hallway. What's at the end of your hallway?
Yeah, the garage door. Like, it's down that hallway that goes down to the garage.
Yeah.
That was like his stressful place where he was so anxiety driven if we left together.
Well, now it's the place so for him, he associates that place with exits and entrances.
Yes, he does.
So that's the place that he's picked to enter in his ethereal state. So that's where she always sees him pop out of. So that's where she goes to look for him.
And we've noticed her behavior different, and we're just trying to play with her more and more and more with cat toys, because you couldn't play with her with a cat toy if, he was playing with his toys, because he wanted to take her toys.
Right.
So that was the case.
Of course. And you know what? She hated it, but now she misses it.
Yes, I think exactly it.
It's the biggest pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But now she misses him and she loves to play with him.
Yes.
So if you see her sometimes like throwing her toys up in the air and stuff, she's playing with him.
I'll be. That's good. That's good. I was wondering how he was before we decided to let him go.
He was in a lot of pain.
That's what I figured.
Did you
it was probably a good month or two.
He did a really good job of masking his pain, but it feels like towards the end, even he couldn't hide from you how much pain he was in, that you could still see.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
And
he had a tumor in his bladder, and it was pretty bad near the end. So it was a no-brainer once the doctor found everything, and I knew from all the hardship he was going through that it was time. We were with him, and so it was very peaceful. I was so glad. It was harder on my husband because, like I said, I know that he's going to be with us and that he will pass and he'll be as good as new, on the other side. So I just wanted to know if he was still around.
Your husband
sorry, go ahead.
Doesn't have as much of that awareness.
He did, or say it again?
I said your husband doesn't have as much of the awareness.
No, he does not.
Of what happens after death as you do. So for him, it was more of a loss or of something being taken out of his life.
Correct. Very correct. I try to mention things that I know, and he knows how I feel and I'm learning things. So I think he's coming more and more of better understanding, but it takes time.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's hard. I'm so sorry. He'll get there. He's trying to get there, your husband. He's really trying to wrap his brain around how it all works. He's just having a hard time with it.
Correct. Yeah. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And you're very lucky to have him.
Yeah.
And your baby wants to come. He comes and watches you when you sleep. So don't freak out if someday you open your eyes in the middle of the night and you see him sitting there.
Ooh, I just got head to toes chills. I always feel spirit, and even angels that call in. I feel it now. It's more powerful. It lasts longer.
Yeah.
So that's my confirmation that he's just confirming that. So that's good.
Yeah, he does. He's fascinated with you when you sleep, and he likes to sit and watch you sleep a little bit. He's a good boy, and he is a really sweet soul. And he wants you to know a couple things. One, he's laughing and saying that the cat loves him more than she ever would have admitted. He thinks that's hysterical, that the cat actually loves him.
I just felt it again. Yeah.
Because
he's so right on that. He's laughing about it because he would butt her in the butt, and kind of go, come on, let's play. Come on, and she'd only get a little bursts of energy with him, but he wanted her to play more, but they loved each other.
And when she was alive, she actually told him she didn't like him and didn't love him. He knew she didn't mean it, but she would say things like that to him. But now she's admitted that she misses him. And that was a big thing for him, for her to admit that.
Oh, that's great.
Now she's asking, like, when are you coming back? When can we play again? Do you see her just like running up and down the hall?
Yes. Because I know both. She's 13, so I've known her since she was a kitten. Yeah, she's going around the corner into that hallway. I'm in the kitchen and I'm hearing, whoa!
Yeah, she's all excited because she sees him. It's time to play.
And then she pokes her head around the corner going like, Mom, did you see him?
Yeah.
She's almost looking at me like, didn't you see him?
Yeah, exactly. One time when I moved into when I first bought my house when I was very young, I was standing near between almost in the doorway of the master bathroom. And I saw this little thing, like a little troll is the best way I can describe it, maybe about 11 inches high. And it ran around the corner from the bedroom, ran into the master bathroom, and then disappeared. And I thought, okay, that's it. I've gone crazy. It was right after my car accident. So I had a little head injury and I'm like, now I'm going to have hallucinations for the rest of my life. And I looked over and my first cat, who I just adopted, was sitting in the door jamb of the bathroom. And she looked at me like, what in the FEDF was that? And I thought, oh my God, Erin saw it too.
Yeah.
I don't know if that made me feel better or worse, but she was just looking after it like, what is that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they do, and they give you that look, right? Like, did you
Yeah.
see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's even put her head in a corner in the dining room, like she's looking and listening.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking the last time she did that, it was termites. But
Yeah.
this is not,
this is
not it.
One big celestial termite that has come to play with her. And she's loving it even more than she would probably still even admit how much she's loving it. But
Awesome.
she was very unprepared for how much she was going to miss him.
Yeah.
And she really does. And he's a good guy, and I don't blame her. He's very special.
Thank you. Yeah, he was a sweet dog. He was the most smartest dog I've ever had.
And he's like, when you want him to come back as another dog, you let him know and he will do it. He needs a little time to get adjusted up there and get all his stuff worked out. But
I just felt that again, head to toe. Thank you.
He will come back if you want him to. He'll even come back as a cat, he's saying.
Well, that might be it, because we didn't know if we wanted another dog again anymore after going through all that.
Yeah.
But we've always been cat people, just like you.
Yeah, right. Get a nice little boy cat for her, and that will still poke her in the butt and make her life a living hell.
Exactly. She's 13, so if I did that again, I would wait till she passes. Then we'll get two, like brother and sister or something,
Sounds good, but remember, she's a little lonely. Keep in mind, she's a little lonely.
I understand. She needs a lot more love right now because she's demanding it. Yeah.
And she needs a toy that entertains her.
That's what I've been doing quite a few times.
Self-entertaining toy. Does she have anything like that?
Not really. I always have to use the ones that and string it along and capture the feather and all that.
Okay, my little guy's got that snake. Have you seen the snake?
Yeah. Is that
obsessed? He's obsessed with it. As a matter of
fact,
today he wanted to play and the battery was dead. So he just ran over to it and started hitting it. Like it would just come to life because normally what they do is they hit it on the head and that's when it comes to life.
I see. I will look for it. What's the name of it again? I've seen it before, but do you know the name?
Cat snake toy. It's like an orange snake with black and white stripes on it.
Okay. I'm going to get it for her. She would love that. Yeah.
She will love it. And you just turn it on and then it stays dormant while it's charged. And then there's a little sensor on the head and they have to. But I'm warning you, if you live on an Indian burial ground, sometimes it turns itself on at 3 a.m. So
I understand that hour.
Your dog may turn it on too. You know what I mean? He might think it's loads of fun. So just don't freak out if it comes on. Because the first time it came on, I thought, oh my God, what is Cullen doing at 3 o'clock in the morning? And I looked over and he was sitting on the bed next to me like, Mommy, why is my toy going on when I'm sitting here? The most bemused look on his face. Like, why is the toy going? What's happening? So, yeah. All right, sweetie, take care of you. It's going to be okay.
Sheena.
Send you so much love.
Thank you so much. You too. Bye-bye.
I mean, our animals are fun. And they're even fun about death. They're much better about death than we are. They're much better about loss than we are. They're much better at understanding the scope and the balance of the universe than we are. It's much easier for them to tap into God and connect that way, connect to spirit easier than we do. There's just a lot of good things, about animals. And my mom used to say human beings were just smart enough to be dangerous. And I think it's that we're just smart enough to get in our own way that makes it hard for us sometimes to connect fully to our higher power, to connect fully to each other, to understand the scope of what animals can comprehend and not think of ourselves as these big holier than thou humans who are here to steward and shepherd the animals. The animals are perfectly fine and have great relationships with God. So we're the ones that need to work on a little bit better connection, But what a great call and what a great story. And I love that story where I had 2 cats. Seamus was kind of my mother that mothered everybody. And and Molly was my baby. And the two of them used to sit up at night in the middle of the night back on their hind feet, and they would do this at each other with their front paws. I used to call it dinosaur cat wars because it reminded me of two T-Rexes warring. And the week after he died, I would wake up at 3 a.m. and I would find her sitting up by herself, just doing this at the air. And I knew he was with her. So animals come back a lot, and they want to reincarnate with us a lot. So there's a lot of beautiful things about them. And it's so important we have them in our lives. So with that, let's do another message from Spirit. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Who are you and where are you from? And what's your question for me, sweetheart?
My name's Abby and I'm in Silverdale, Washington. I was just wondering if I have any messages from my two grandfathers that have passed away recently in the past few years.
Sure. Were you close with both of them?
Yes.
Each one thinks you were closer with him. Isn't that funny? Because they both kind of immediately said, oh, she wants to talk to me. She's closer to me. And so that's funny, right? That's weird.
Yeah.
Who was the sort of bigger guy, the more kind of burly guy?
That was my grandpa Don.
Okay, man, he loved you.
Yeah.
Was he kind of fun to play with?
Oh yeah, he was a jokester.
Yeah, he's talking about like that he was just really fun to play with. He was kind of like a big bear almost, and just really fun to. He always was up to do something fun.
Yeah.
And he hopes that he provided fun for you. And he also hopes that you knew that he was somebody that you could go to and talk to if you needed somebody. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And
I'm sorry?
Does he have anything for my mom? I know she's been really struggling with his passing.
Yeah. He loved her so much. He was kind of like that big ball of fun in her life too, right?
Yeah.
Was it your grandmother, her mother could be like a little more intense, right?
Yeah.
And he was more the fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he loved your grandmother though.
Okay.
He just thought that maybe she didn't have as much of a sense of humor as he did.
Okay.
And he really liked to be he just liked to sort of bring humor and relief to life, because he just felt like a lot of life was too serious.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He's really trying to guide your mother through this grief. He knows she's having a hard time. So please let her know that he's always with her and that at any time she can talk to him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
She can just sit wherever she is and just start talking to him. And if she listens, like right here, he says, like right in her solar plexus, you know, where your stomach and your breastbone kind of meet, that she will hear the answers, and she needs to know it's his voice and believe he's talking to her.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And he loves you, and he's there if you need him. He says, just reach out if you need him.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sending you so much love, sweetie.
Thank you so much.
You take care. All right. I know it's always hard to lose a relative, and to lose two at once is super hard. And a lot of people lost people today on the show. And I think everybody on the show today was about loss and losing people. Our questions aren't always like that here, but sometimes if you'd like to be a guest on the show, send me a text message, 818-437-0886. I would love to have you on the show. If you're watching right now and you're thinking, I'd like to ask a question on the show, send me a text message and let's set you up and get you on the show. We're here every Wednesday at 2:00 Pacific time. My website is sheenametalspiritual.com. We're on the wonderful PARAPOD TV. You can find it many places, including the Roku channel, the Roku app. They have their own channel on the Roku app, and you can go watch all the archives there too. Thank you to Tony Sweet, who owns and operates Parapod TV, for making us a part of your family. And my wonderful engineer and producer, Emery, who is truly the wind beneath my wings. And to all of the people who have been on the show. I think this is our 29th show, and 29 is my lucky number. So, hey, it's the 29th show. If you'd like to just stay in touch, get to know me, 818-437-0886. If you're out of the US, WhatsApp is the best for me. My country code is 1, so it's 1-818-437-0886. Until I see you next time, seek peace, live in love, lead with kindness, embrace unity. Always work to raise not only your vibration, but the vibration of others around you. And then that will help to lift the vibration of the everything. But most importantly, the most important thing for you to take from today is that you are love, and you are loved, and you are loved by me. I'm Sheena. This is Messages from Spirit. I'll see you next time. Stay beautiful, and we'll see you next Wednesday at 2:00 Pacific time.